Another Founder Wisdom podcast with Sidick Alalade. He is from my native Montreal, Quebec, South Shore, just like myself. He's co-founder and CTO at two interesting companies. One's an agency and the other's a SaaS, respectively. Co-founder and CTO at Osortoo and co-founder and CTO at Oshara. Sid, welcome to the pod. Can you briefly introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about your companies?
Sure. So, as you said, my name is Sidick Alalade, and basically, I'm CEO and CTO of Oshara, which is a web agency, and Osortoo, which is a software as a service for marketing. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I
Yeah,
was looking away, distracted by something.
no
um,
problem.
Last time you and I we spoke about various interesting topics about like running an agency first and then developing a SaaS. So both of your company are quite interesting. First, you started Oshara, and second, that led somewhat to Osortoo, if I'm not mistaken. First question I have for you, and just to give the audience a bit context. So your brother, you run the company with him. He's in charge of sales. You're in charge of building. The first question I asked you last time is, how do you get these big logos? How do you get these big clients? Because that really put an impression on me.
Oh, this big client, definitely it's more for which company actually? For Oshara or for
Yeah,
Osortoo or for the
starting
both?
with Oshara, because
Sure.
to me, yeah, like
Mm,
you work with Ford, you work with Just for
mhm.
Laugh, you work with Quebec,
Yeah.
all like huge companies. Xerox, I know that Xerox, you have personal experience there, you work there. So
Yeah.
how did you get all of these important clients?
So I will say reference, actually, word of mouth. So uh, Xerox was actually a good example. So actually, I worked for Xerox first, and when I start doing consultation for them with my company, they had some contract with Ford, so they refer me to Ford. So this is why I have Ford actually. If you say about the Montreal city or just for love, it's again word of mouth. So someone who take our services, like some company who take our services, and they were satisfied and they recommend. Or if you say Quebec, example, this is we work with someone in another company, they were satisfied, so she leaves, she start working with Quebec, and now she wanted to work again with us. So basically, it's word of mouth and referral.
Right, and that usually takes a while. So, looking at your profile here, you basically started Oshara in 2014. So you've
Mhm.
been at it for 9 years, probably a tad more. So it takes a lot of time to gain people's trust and to do a good job. And is it fair to mention that at first you had to suffer quite a lot for the agency before you could make it to a certain threshold?
Definitely, yes. Certainly, yes, yes. We suffer, I will say a lot, because in the beginning you have to build trust. You have to build trust, which is, I said, kind of the most a bit difficult thing because people don't know if they take the services they will be satisfied. But at the same time, if they don't give you a chance, how you can demonstrate them they will be satisfied, you know? So
Chicken and egg
we
problem.
exactly chicken and egg problem. So we start small, and yeah, we are still continuing growing, and we always make sure that all our clients are always satisfied because we think that the word of mouth and the referral is kind of the most easiest way to close clients. Because if I call you Charles, I can do your SEO, blah blah blah, whatever the thing, and versus like you have your close friend or one like someone who you know pretty well who call you, hey Charles, you want to do your SEO? I know this guy from the company, like this. The company is Oshara. The owner is, kind of a great guy. You can call them, blah blah blah. it will be like more easier for me to close you with the referral than if I call you directly, right? So we, and for that, we always just to deliver the result to the client.
Yeah, there's a lot of these agencies in Quebec, Canada. Like you offer lots of service from ads to websites to SEO. How do you make sure to stay relevant and not become this jack of all trade agency that no one wants to use because they do everything and they're not specialized in anything?
Okay, good question actually. Um, Actually, we in the beginning we were not even considering ourselves as a like as an agency, as a word. We were considering ourselves more as a technology company. Um, the thing is, we only do what we are great in and what we are sure that we can drive result, and we have all the proof to show that we can drive result for this, like for this. So um how actually we are different based, like in the beginning we are tech, so actually I have a background of tech, so like my team and couple friends are calling me as like a geek, but I'm not considering myself as a geek, but I'm pretty good in tech, so I know how to develop. I know many language like C++, PHP, whatever the language. um I did sysadmin, like sysadministration server, like for Linux server and the Windows Server for Xerox and also for Bell. Actually, I have Bell from actually Xerox also. And so as a tech, we were having some super great result. We know how to build software, how to build custom software, how to do like all kind of like technology stuff. And after a couple of years of Oshara, we we integrate the marketing part in our agency. And while we integrate the marketing part in our agency, we were thinking, okay, do we really want to do as all the other company who like they are marketing agency and they do all of the stuff, social media, blah blah blah, and all those. And our stuff was no. We think about it. Yes, actually, in the beginning, we wanted to add all of them. And after, we always try to see, okay, what we are good with and what is actually our resource also like actually to do. So we just remove the service that we don't like. First of all, that we are not good at. This is the main thing, and we have to acknowledge and be honest that we are not good at those services, and only focus on the services that we are good at. So we are good at developing technology, not as the other agency. You will see a lot of web agency. They are good to build website in WordPress. They will build some templates and they will edit couple thing, and you will go online. But we don't do this. Is not actually our kind of. Actually, our company is not that. We don't buy template and just do simple website. We know how to do everything from scratch. So we are custom guy who know exactly what tech is, what everything which is involved in the web development process or in the mobile development process. And since we grew the team with the marketing, what we were good at was SEO. For example, if you write Agence Web Canada, you should find us on the first page. So that is pretty clear as a proof. Agence Web Canada, we are on the first page on Google. So that means we are not that crazy in SEO.
Yeah,
So
I also do that with cold email. So I cold email people and I tell them, yeah, you should use cold email, and then they accept the meeting, and I'm like, yeah, you accepted the meeting, so cold email works, right? I do the same with podcasts. Like you're on my podcast today. Oh well, obviously that my techniques work. Now, do you want to start your own podcast, or do you want to be a guest on other podcasts? So I call it the proofs in the pudding. Like the good old British expression. So yeah, somewhat good explanation. I want to hear from you because Stuart Butterfield, the guy that founded Slack, he had his agency before. I think the Twitter guys as well. So they use kind of this non-scalable model, aka offering services and trading time for money slash consulting. Are you doing the same with Oshara? Is it like the insights that you got from your agency that led to the founding of Osortoo?
Yes, definitely, actually. While running the agency, we work with different clients who have similar need, but like the tool of Osortoo actually. So, example, the Just for Love client that we work with, we did a couple things for them, and actually, this is from the Just for Love that we think about Osortoo. To make it short, we this is from the Just of Love project contract. We did many things for them, but one of the things was people that like people can come physically on a tablet in the road of Montreal downtown and participate in a contest. So we built this thing for them on the tablet and it was working fine. So after that, we said, okay, why we don't just do something that can be scalable for any people who want to do something like that? Instead of building for one company, why we don't have something as a software as a service where they can just buy a monthly plan or whatever for the period that they need and just do it? And this is where Osortoo, like the idea of Osortoo come in mind. And we start developing the contest module. We were not even developing the social media picker, which is actually the thing that we sell the most on Osortoo, but it was mainly the contest module that we developed in the beginning. And after when we put it in implementation, people start using it, we saw that, okay, we have a lot of people who want to pick winner from social media. So why we don't integrate it in our tool? And this is where actually we implement some other thing, some other feature in Osortoo that didn't work well. And actually we remove it. Example, Linktree. You should know Linktree, right? The thing where you have one link.
Yep.
Exactly. So in the beginning, like years ago, Osortoo was also able to create exactly as actually Linktree, but in the process, we saw that okay, this is not. First of all, this is not why we created the tool. We didn't create the tool to be a competitor of Linktree. In the run, we add it as a feature. But in the run, we noticed that, okay, Linktree, they are focused on Linktree. They are moving fast in the feature. But to us, we have different other feature. And the Linktree is way more better than our Linktree module. So do we really want to compete them? And we are not really making money from it. But the other tool as social media, as context, we are making money. So we have to take a decision again, do what is good for the people and not and also what is good for us. So we remove it. This is how actually we remove kind of those feature in Osortoo, and we always improve in the run.
Well, usually the free version is used to promote the product. Is that what you do on your end as well? And what does your competition do? Like, and how much you copy from them?
Uh, the competition for Osortoo.
Yeah, the first question was the free version. Do you use it to grow the product? There's the branding and so forth and limited functions.
Yeah, we use the free version to grow the product, to grow more user, actually, like to grab more user on the tool. See how it is used, how it is easy to use, and we made a lot of change in this pricing plan during the year, but we also reduce our limitation from the competition, because we said, okay, if you want to go to the competition, it's okay for us. We don't mind. We really don't mind. Let's say we limit our social media picker to 50 comments. So if you want to make if you want to pick winner on the post who have less than 50 comments, you are good to use it for free. But I think one of our competitors, they have it on 100 comments. I think another competition, they have it on 200 or even 500. I don't remember exactly. But their price is also bigger. The order price of their plan is also bigger than us. So this is where we came from for that.
The funny thing also with like contests, is that in Quebec we have this lottery culture. People love to play lottery, you know, um, and as there's also that leads to another phenomena, which has been, you know, we call them les matantes, that are so the aunties that are playing, that are always on these contests on Facebook, you know, that spend their days, you know, participating to Facebook contests. So, and that is a phenomenon we see quite a lot in Quebec itself, not in other places of the world. We kind of love to play games, and that also reflects, you know, or poor man's mentality, you know, like we're always outsourcing or destiny to luck, you know, and we believe, or most people in Quebec believe, that you don't get your money through hard work but through luck, you know, and winning the lottery, which I'm kind of painting a negative portrait of my own place, but that's a part of it. I think this also helped your app to like pierce in this market in Quebec, because now that leads to this other model, which is that businesses are constantly doing contests, since we do have all these aunties spending their days on Facebook and participating in these contests, and gamifying the whole thing, right? I saw the Wheel of Fortune. I also used that for my own businesses back in the days to have people participate in our stuff. Actually, we had this exit pop-up on our website that you could play and you have a 20% chance. And we use that as a viral growth tool, and that was certainly our top 10. So I do see the interest in these apps. What are you seeing on your side on a growth level? Are people like more and more inclined to use your app? Are you seeing more interest, or are you seeing some kind of decline in business interest to actually do contests? Because just one last bit of context, you know, if you look like at gurus out there, like Gary V or Grant Cardone, they frequently do some contests on their podcast and on their channel, you know, win this MacBook Air, win this iPhone. What's the human psychology here? And are businesses like more inclined to use that, or is it a remnants of the past, you know, people participating in contests and lottery?
No, I will say it's. I say what I can see. I will say that it's still there. People are still using it. People are still using contest because it's a good engagement tool in marketing. So you say the word gamification. So while you add gamification in your marketing, it can drive you more engagement actually, because like it's kind of a fun way to kind of to participate with your brand. So people like it, and people also want to win something. You know, they don't have nothing to lose and they can win something. So usually yeah, people participate pretty well to contest, especially on social media. On social media, we see, I can say, we even seen some increase. So yeah, definitely people are still doing contests.
What are the ethics behind people playing games, you know? Because in Quebec, like, I don't think these people that are depending on social welfare and I think they'll get rich to playing games, I don't think that is a good way for them to invest their lives. You know, it's this false sentiment of productivity. Oh, I played 20 contests today, I might get one, you know. While in the end, a lot of people, they don't use tools such as yours. They don't have randomized winner. It's like, oh, I'm gonna pick the one with the most followers. So what do you think about the ethics behind these games and having people play contests?
Okay, actually, for me, it really depends on the. Okay, if you, as a company, when you run a contest, you have to make sure that the you run a contest which is ethical for your brand itself, because each contest is different actually. Like you run a contest now, let's say tomorrow for top lead, the rule will be completely different than if I run the contest for myself actually. So now the other thing is example. when people use our platform, we will always put a notification that you should make sure that the rule of the contest and all the things are like you respect your local law and all the things to make sure that you don't not necessarily over promise, but you don't want to like you are not trying to use the contest to kind of, will I say, like let's say
Take
get rich
advantage of
tomorrow.
people.
Yes, yes, exactly. Get advantage of people. Let's say you say get rich tomorrow by participating, those kind of things to make sure that you are making it in the good way. But again, uh, this will depend on each person who run their own contest. And for the participant, I don't have any control on the participant, and people who run contests doesn't also have any control on the participant. But basically, for the participant, I will always say read well what is the condition of the contest that you are participating to, especially if you leave your information, your personal information, because depending on the contest, let's say if it is a form contest, you maybe have to leave your email, your phone number, your blah blah blah. So make sure that you read, example, what is the condition on the information that you are sharing? Will they sell it to someone else? Will they, to so yeah, basically, yeah.
Interesting. How much clients do you have right now? What's the MRR that you're at, and what are your goals for 2023?
Oh, the number of clients, I cannot say exact number. Last time that I checked, we were almost like 60,000 clients.
Users, you mean like there's free users?
Users.
Yeah,
Yes, there is few users, but the
that is
total
quite a
amount,
lot. 6,000?
60,000.
Holy shit.
60,
That's a lot of people.
60,000.
Um,
Yes.
and how many
60,000.
percent are like on the paid plan? Is it like
On
10%?
the yes, we have around 10%. Yeah, you find it great. Yeah, you have around 10% on the paid plan. Yeah.
That's because I know all your data.
How
I
you know
checked
that?
everything. No, no, like in reality, how do I know these things? Like I talked to so many people and read so many pieces of data that I have this AGI in my brain that I can make like these wild bets and prediction, and most of the time it will be accurate. It's like ChatGPT. People don't understand how it got there. Well, same for me. I cannot tell you
Mhm,
how I got there, but yeah, broad estimate of correlation.
mhm.
Talking about that, what's your take on AI? Do you think you'll infuse some of your apps and businesses with AI? What do you think will happen on that level?
Currently, the app, I don't think that we will integrate AI in Osortoo soon. To be honest, we quickly discuss it in like with our team, but currently no. Actually, currently we are planning to build some other software as a service actually for the beginning of next year. so, so which is completely different actually.
And if I do some quick calculus here, I mean, 10% of 6,000, that's 6K users. So that's like a
Yeah,
lot of clients. And 6K
yes.
users at like minimum $10 a month.
10
That's
bucks,
that's
yeah, around.
60K MRR. So you have a very big and fast growing business there.
Yeah.
You're aware of that.
Um, yeah, definitely. Now I will say we're around 50, just a bit less than 60 because we integrate some plan which is lifetime deal. So people come, they pay one time, but around we are in the 50 per month.
So what if a company would come to you and ask to acquire you? Would you be like in a position or in a mental space to accept an acquisition? Because in that ballpark, let's call it, yeah, 500K MRR, 600K MRR Canadian dollars. Um, you'd have an offer to get acquired for at least 5 to 10 million, which is life changing money, right?
Pretty good.
Um,
Yeah.
would you say no to this?
Um, Currently, no, I think I will accept it.
Because the cash flow is pretty good as well, right? So why?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: like, how much time do you spend on that business? Because if the cash flow is pretty good, you can fund some of your other moonshots with that, some of your new business ideas, which I'm pretty sure you have running an agency and that one. Why would you say yes to that big chunk of money vs a recurring 50K cash flow on a monthly basis?
Because I am thinking to build some other business like that with recurring money, and this money will help me, go on the beach first, but not only go on the
Go at
beach,
the
but
Oka beach, just the worst beach ever. No, like no, you'd be talking about Tahiti at this point, for sure, or Bali, or yeah, incredible beach. But
exactly.
that business of yours, and I mean, going to the beach is not that costly, we could call
Yeah,
it like, yeah,
definitely.
nice trip, like a very nice trip, 10K for a week. And building a business, an ambitious business, let's call it like 50K of seed money. Like what business are you thinking of building? Like, or are you thinking of investing in real estate or stocks? Like, why the 5 to 10 million? Why would you need that vs like these small incremental bits of money? And also the bank can probably loan you that money at very low interest with all that money that you're making. So I'm just curious.
Uh, Actually, stock, I am already investing in stock. Actually, pretty a lot, and not all my account are pretty in good condition currently, because during the COVID section, like we had a crazy, crazy big crash in the stock market, and I got hit on it like big time, big money lost. But things happen, so you have to deal with it. It was just to like it was I didn't follow my own discipline. I have kind of a discipline on my investment, and just to make the story short, like it's all about greedy. I was just more greedy, take my money out. Instead of taking my money out, I say, oh, leave it, leave it, leave it. And finally, all your money out, laid down. So anyway, this is also the stock market. But yes, I want to invest more in real estate now.
Do you often
And yeah.
reflect on the fact that you're the top 1% richest African man in the world?
Mhm. What? Can you repeat?
Top 1% richest African man in the world.
No, I'm not in there. No,
Yes, you are. You're in the
no.
1% percentile with what you're making right now. You're 1%. With in that bracket, you are.
You think
Yeah, even I
there
would
is?
even make a bolder bet and say you're at the in the top 0.5%.
No, there is crazy lot of rich African. You can't imagine.
Yeah, but not a lot of them. There's a lot of money in Africa, but
Yeah.
you're there. Do you reflect on that often? Because let's face it, Africa is a tough place to grow up in. Not a lot of people
Mhm.
make it out. I think that's changing with the internet. But do you often reflect like where you came from and where you are today and your accomplishments?
Yes, definitely. I know I came from long story. I'm happy with where I am today, but I'm not that happy yet. I'm always kind of angry. Like I want more. Like I feel like there is a lot more to achieve with my team and with my goal.
I understand that. Yeah, I'm the same way. How do you teach to your son your values, and do you see a little entrepreneur in him?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He's still young, but yeah, actually last year in the even this year we will do it every summer. Like we like last summer, what actually we did, he said that he want to do some lemonade and
Classic.
actually sell it right? So with his mom, they build lemonade together, like some big bottle of lemonade, and it is it is the summer time, so we just open our garage. We put like big table like in front of the garage, which is just in front of the road. So people pass, they say, "Yeah, there is something there." They stop. We put a big like wall thing there, lemonade, 50 cents, 50 cents the lemonade, because we want. The goal is not really to make that money. The goal is to show him how to sell the services to people. And he will say, "Hey, come actually to buy a lemonade, only 50 cents." So we will this summer also we will do it again.
Love it, man.
So
I'll give you two ideas here, okay? From
yeah.
the master of street selling, because I observed these people in the streets of Mexico selling all the time, and I love these ideas. Okay, so you're gonna go next to the cycling trail, in the South Shore, the cycling trail,
Mm-hmm.
on a very hot day. You're gonna have a stand. You're gonna have Square, so you're gonna accept cards, payments, because runners, or Apple Pay, runners, they bring their phone on a very hot day. You're gonna have ice cold lemonade, and you're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
cookies as upsell. Um, and then everyone will run or bike. They're like, "Oh, I'm so exhausted. I didn't bring water." They're gonna see your stand. They're gonna stop, and they're gonna buy stuff from you. And your son's gonna be $300 positive at the end of the day. $300.
Okay.
Imagine like that money for a kid. Because
Yeah.
let's say the limited, let's call it like 50 cents, or like let's say $1. Let's bring it to like around $1. Let's say that you have, it's like 500 milliliters, times two, that's 1 liter times 10. So that, let's say you bring like 20 liters, or yeah, or a bit more, 50. And then the cookies, you sell them for $3. So in the end, you need to sell like, let's call it like 50 packs of cookies, and 30-ish, or 50-ish cups of lemonade, and that's the $300. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
getting
This is
away
a good
from
idea.
it is. Or if you want to go near your house in the Strand, in the Piste Club again, in the cycling trail there.
Yeah.
But yet I'm referring to the big cycling trail, on the South
Mm-hmm.
Shore, right? Like, the one I'm
Yes. Yes.
referring, passing La
Yes. I
Prairie
saw.
and Brassard,
Yes.
and
Yes. I saw exactly what you mean.
yeah, and make sure to
I saw exactly that.
have a nice, un parasol, for the sun, so that people
Mm-hmm.
can stop under. And yeah, there's these little spot on the side of the trail. Think you'll be very successful on your side too. It's been very nice, Sidick. Thanks for coming today. Where can people find out more about you and your companies?
On my website, oshara.ca or osortoo.com.